Hello, I'm Louisa Stewart, CEO of Blue Ninja, and I'm privileged to be showing you around our latest exhibition for the Silk Road Virtual Museum. Let's have a look at the Khitan Empire. Welcome to the Khitan Empire, Life and Death. The Khitan conquest of the northern part of the Chinese Empire brought the nomadic Khitans into direct contact with Han Chinese culture. One thing the elites learned was to build underground chamber tombs for their burials and decorate them with murals. These murals give us an insight into their daily lives. As you move through the exhibition, you have the ability to move using the next previous buttons, left and right, and you can move around the room freely with your mouse. Click on any image to view it and find more information buttons, as well as increase the size of the image within the system. Let's look at the first wall. Horses still play a large part in their lives. Unfortunately, most of these are waiting to escort their owners to their final resting places. But wait, here at the bottom, they're playing polo, a typical step game for developing the skill and agility of both horse and rider. As we move along, you can see an archer shooting from his horse, and below, a group of musicians and a figure carrying a falcon ready for the hunt. The next group shows groups preparing to dine, and the sizzling dumplings look gorgeous. And the final group, yes, they really are drinking tea, a custom they picked up from the Chinese. And so we continue around different daily activities. Until we arrive here. This is the first of two tombs we are going to see. The murals are painted in the inner chamber around the funerary couch. Wow, these ladies could pass them off as high-fashion Chinese, fancy hairstyles, showing off fine woven silks. We know that they are not because the bodies had been cremated, and they had highfalutin aspirations. Look at the exquisite paintings of the elegant cranes. There to guard the soul and guide it on its path, presumably also with the trunks of baggage. The next tomb could not be more different. On the left panel, the final journey is being prepared. The riderless horse and the wagon stand ready. But look at the background. No yurts or horses, but quite farming scenes, showing the adaptation in lifestyles by part of the population. In the center, the final banquet table has been prepared. Note the two dogs playing at either side of the table. And on the right, the attendants are ready to enter. But look behind them. No four cranes as guardians, but just about every auspicious symbol he could assemble. Just don't ask me what an axe balancing on an open orange lotus flower that has been carried on the back of a green snake could mean. From here, we come to the entrance of the tomb of the Princess of Chan. Follow the arrow because that's where we're going next. The Princess of Chan is dead, the granddaughter of the emperor. She was just 18 years old. I love this picture. The grouping of the sorrowful faces around the bier bearing the body. But we have to navigate around this or click on the panel behind it. The two panels explain the original tomb layout and the Khitan burial practice. The Khitan elite may have copied the Chinese practice of tomb burial, but it stopped there. You can read those for yourself. The reason we are here is because the tomb had not been plundered. There in front are the gilded funeral masks of the princess and her consort. She is on the left. The silver pillows upon which they rested their heads, the golfed belt worn by the prince, the gilded silver boots they wore, and a few bits of bling. Take a step further back, and we can admire the gilded silver crowns that each wore. Hers is on the left, his on the right. But we are not here for the bling. Gold and silver formed only 5% or so of the objects found in this tomb. Let's drift left to right. By far the largest number of objects were made from amber. When you look at them, you must remember that time has changed their color and their original golden honey look. The amber came from 6,000 kilometers away in the Baltic. You can look at the Viking exhibition for a view of the other end of this trade. It is testimony that the steppe Silk Road was very much alive in the period. The jewelry was often made up with precious stones and pearls. These, together with things like peacock feathers and exotic animals, came from tribute from the defeated Western powers. A little further to the right, and we find glass, highly prized, that had originated in Persia, as well as some domestically produced ceramics. The next wall is devoted to jade, not the green favored by the Chinese, but mutton white jade that came from the mines 3,000 kilometers away. Jade was the second most precious material, about 10% of the total. And it says a lot about the lives of horses that almost 1/3 of that jade came from 92 carved little jade horses that adorned the decorations hanging either side of the saddle. The contents of the tomb are safe in museums, but that is not the case for the site. The exhibition ends by looking at the flooding that nearly destroyed the tomb and its murals. Thank you for joining us on this walkthrough of the Khitan Empire.